Alrighty, guys, we're back. So, um, I went ahead and got this all cleared out and walled off up here. I didn't do this side. I'm going to do this side, but not right now because there's some really big bases here. These ones we could handle no problem. These ones we could probably get away with, but they're not really going to be an issue right now. This one might be as the pollution increases, but we'll see. Um, but we've only got uh, projectile turrets right now. Um, we don't have lasers, so I kind of want lasers to be able to do that. So we're going to leave that one for now. But this one is done, and that's going to give us some uranium so that we will be able to start processing uranium at some point here in the near future. And it's going to give us, some copper and what have you. It does not give us any coal, but we got coal here, we got coal here, we got coal here, we got coal down here, and we got this coal patch that we're already using. And then we'll get some coal over here when the time comes. So that's out of the way. Now, as far as technology, we just finished plastics, and we just finished red belts, and the train stuff. But we can't do, and we've got blue science packs. Problem is, we can't do blue science because blue science needs red circuits. Red circuits need plastic. We're not doing our oil yet, so we have to start doing our oil before we really get into this blue science stuff. I really kind of want these because I want to start getting into robots and into the bots and building and into lasers and stuff like that. But right now, we can't do the blue science. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of these up here on our queue because we just can't do them right now. And we're going to just start picking up these greens and reds. And while we're picking up these greens and reds, we are going to start getting serious about building our at least semi-final base. All of this stuff has been well and good. It's a nice little bootstrap to get us started. And we've got a decent amount of production here and what have you. But let's be honest, this is not going to get us into space. We need to get serious about it. We need to make a dedicated green circuit production. We need a dedicated red circuit production, et cetera, et cetera. So the first step in doing that is to expand our smelting. We got to expand our smelting. We got to build a oil processing plant. So I've been looking at this map, and here's what I've kind of figured out. I think we're going to leave this area up here above this lake. A, we're going to mine this stuff, and B, we're going to use this as like our rail depot. We'll be able to come down from here. We'll be able to come over from here and use that as a rail depot. So that leaves us over here and down here. And what I'm thinking is if we go up almost to the lake and we build our smelting up here, we're going to avoid this oil because we want to use this oil. But if we build our smelters up here, initially we can belt stuff in, and then once all this plays out, we can start bringing in trains. So that'll give us our smelting, and then we can bring a main bus down here. The only problem is we got these cliffs down here because we're going to keep this. We're going to use it to supply our materials for building and stuff like that. But we get down here and we run into this cliff face, or these cliffs. But at some point we will have cliff explosives. But I thought we could do that, and then we could bring the main bus down here, and then if we run out of room, we can turn and go this way, and go straight out here. Since we're not going to get any bigger with this. And then as far as fluid processing, I thought where these cliffs are is kind of a big pocket area. Now these little stuff, this is all stones. That could go out, but these are cliffs, and we've got one of two choices: we get rid of them, or we go through them. And if we're doing oil processing, we can pipe under these. We can belt under them too, but piping under them is easy because of the length of the pipes. So maybe we're going to use this area here as our oil processing. We're just going to set all of our fluid processing up right here. It's pollution intensive anyway, I do believe. And that's right next to the water, so that's going to help us with our pollution. It'll only go a couple of ways. And if we put our smelting here, it's only going to go a couple of ways. And these are very limited directions of access. Now up here, different story, but we're far enough away. But we got a lot of biters over here. So if we put our smelting here and our oil here, I think that's going to give us a decent way to produce. So let's go ahead and let's start with our smelting. Now, normally I just do smelting like this, and I just add on and add on and add on. Here's the thing. These are half belts. Half of it's coal, half of it's iron ore. I usually end up running into a problem, even with like red belts or blue belts, where I get a throughput issue with these. And if we're going to run trains, we're going to try and get bigger and stuff, I want to do something a little different. I want to try something a little different. We'll see if it works. I don't know if it's going to work. I definitely don't know if it's going to work for steel processing, but we'll see. So I want to try something a little different. Maybe it's something that's been done. Maybe somebody else has done it, and somebody's going to tell me I'm an idiot and it doesn't work. I don't know. But we're going to give something a shot here. So we're going to go up here to the lake, and we're going to start our smelting. And we're going to get rid of these walls while we're at it. Pick up as many of them as we can to get them out of our way, at least up to the lake. We're going to end up having to move some trees and stuff too. But we'll deal with that. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But let's get these walls out of our way. I'm not going to move the belt with the stone on it. That's just stupid. All right, but here's my maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm stupid thought process. All right, if we do a furnace, all right, and then we run a belt down here, and then we run 3 belts here, all right, and then we run another line of furnaces, and then another belt. What I'm thinking I can do is I can bring the iron in on this belt, the iron ore in on this belt and this belt. And I can always put in fast inserters or whatever, right? Oh, by the way, these are the things that we researched while I was away fighting biters: plastics, red circuits, and blue science. Speaking of which, let's get this started so we're not wasting time with it. So, flammables is going to give us rocket fuel, flamethrower turrets, which I really kind of want, and rockets. And then down here gets us into the silos and stuff like that. So we're going to have it. Explosives is going to give us artillery, which I really kind of want at some point. Damn, it's way down there. How is the tank? The tank is not that far away. We just got to get blue science for it. So let's take explosives. Let's take gates because we're going to have trains. We're not going to fence the entire world in. Let's do modular armor. Modules. There are quality modules now, and I don't know a whole lot about quality modules and stuff. It makes better quality equipment, which means that it produces better, or it's got more hit points, or it's more range, or whatever, different things. I don't use modules a lot, just in general, but we're gonna see about quality modules. Research time, let's do research time. Stronger grenades would be nice. That would definitely be nice. So we'll just do the first row, we'll get them started, and we'll take it from there. All right, so while that's running up, here's what I'm thinking. Let's put these down here so we can grab them, and put these down here so we can grab them. All right, so if we bring an iron here, iron ore, and iron ore, right? And then we bring coal on each of these. We don't really need... You know what? We could probably get rid of one of these. I don't think we need 2 belts of coal. I think we can get away with 1 belt of coal, now that I think about it. Because we're not going to be using... I mean, coal burns, so we're going to have to replace it, but not as quickly as replacing the iron ore. So there's coal, and then we'll have an output belt of iron. And if we do that, that'll put on that side, that'll put on that side, that'll give us iron out, that'll give us coal, and that'll give us that. And by doing that, it gives us a full belt of iron ore down here. And we're not going to have the throughput issue of trying to push half a belt all the way down. Because what we're going to do is we want to eventually set this up so that we can do red belts with this. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that the number of furnaces to red belt to do a full red belt is 48. And normally I do like 20 on a side at most. So we're going to give this a shot. So 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be what it's going to end up looking like. Oops. There's 48, because we had a stack of 50. As opposed to what we've got down there. And theoretically, a red belt will carry that, is my understanding. I did not do the math. I looked it up, and that was what, was mentioned. So we're going to set it up with yellow belts, because that's what we have. But we're going to plan for red belts so that we can upgrade this. So that's my thinking. So we got to get coal in, and we got to get iron in, right? So if we make that one coal, and we want to pass through, right? So we want to go here to here, and then here to here. Why did that turn green? Because that's the furthest it'll go? Is that what that... Is that a new thing? Oh, that's kind of neat. That's kind of cool. So that means, yeah, all right, that works. I can live with that. Right? So that would be that, and that would be the coal passing through and coming down. And then this would be the iron ore. Rather than doing a splitter here and coal coming up on half and blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking if we do an iron coming in, right? And we could potentially bring in 2 lines of iron to this. And that would do us for that. Now, I don't know if we're going to have the room to put in. Will that reach if we do 2? Say 1 here and 1 here? Yeah, that'll reach everybody. Cool. I think that'll work. So then we want to go, and we can use this same setup for copper as well as iron. I don't think we need that much in the way of stone bricks. That would be ridiculous overkill. I think when it comes right to it, we can probably do stone bricks right on location wherever we're at that something needs to be built. It's not like we're doing space exploration where you need stone bricks to make green circuits, because you don't have to make the substrate and what have you that you do in space exploration, which is nice. In normal Factorio, wood sucks. You can't get rid of it. In space exploration, it's actually your friend. I kicked myself in the pants because I threw so much wood away at the beginning, and later on I could have used it for making green circuits. That's one hint. If you ever play space exploration or C block, don't throw anything away. Throw some of it away. I mean, don't store ridiculous amounts of it. But anything that you make in those 2 mods, put some of it away, because at some point you're going to need it. Even the waste products, you end up needing them at some point. For some weird process that initially you can't use them for anything, and they just clog your system up. Build a holding tank and put the sulfuric acid in a holding tank, because you're going to need it, or the fluoride, what have you. All right, so I think that will work. And then if we will that reach? No, because it won't reach that one, so we'll have to start there. Right? And that reaches across the aisle, so we can use it on both sides. Sweet. Now, like I say, maybe this has been done before. I don't know. I've never done it. Let's put it that way. But I'm sure someone has. There is no doubt in my military mind that someone somewhere has done a smelting array like that. All right? So let's make a blueprint of that. Create blueprint. And we'll put that in our book of very few blueprints that we have, right? And what have we learned? We've learned explosives, and we've learned gates. All right. So there's that. Now we just want to duplicate this umpteen billion times, because since we're going to be working on our actual main bus, I'm not going to be running just one line of iron down it like I am down there. We're going to run 4 lines of iron. Ultimately, we're going to run 4 lines of iron. So 1. Now, do we want to move over some? We might want to move over some. let's do this. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Do we want to squeeze another one in there? Yeah, we'll squeeze another one in there. 4. So that's 4 lines of either copper or iron. I think that's going to be copper. And then we're going to do 4 lines of iron. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we want steel. Now, steel. We definitely don't need 4 lines of steel. But do we need 2? I feel like we need 2. Just speaking to my ancestors tell me that I need 2. You know, that's the whole add spices until your ancestors whisper stop in your ear. Well, I think my ancestors are telling me we need 2 lines of steel. So the question is, can we somehow create the same sort of system that we've just done with iron, but with steel? So we've got a full belt of iron coming in, feeding furnaces, and then that furnace has to feed a furnace, and each of those furnaces needs coal. So that's coming into there, that's coming into there, and it's coming out of there and into there. But we need coal for this one, and we need coal for this one. Can we do this? Can we have one coming out, one coming down here as coal to feed this and this? Oops. So if that was coal going into both of those, how do we get from there to there? We can do that, right? And then that would come down to a belt to go out, right? I'm gonna steal a couple of these furnaces from over here, just so I can envision this. This may be totally stupid, and it may be totally something somebody's looking at me and going, what the hell are you thinking? But it's certainly not an issue of space. I mean, we've got space right now for days, right? So if steel came out of there, and coal came out of both of those, and iron came off of there, so that's steel, that's iron ore, coal, iron ore. No. that, right? I think we have an idea here. Let me go get some more. Get some more furnaces. I want to run a line of 48. Because I want to see if this will work. You know, it's funny. My brain, sometimes I forget where I've set stuff down, looked away, and looked back and couldn't find it before. That's how bad my brain can be sometimes. But I'll be damned if I can't remember pretty much, not exactly necessarily, but pretty much where in my factory to go to walk to grab something. That's good enough. Because we can blueprint and extend it. All right. So let's go up here and see if my mad scientist idea is viable. And maybe I'm reinventing the wheel. Maybe somebody has already done this. I don't know. Like I say, I've never done it this way. I don't remember ever seeing it done this way. But if it has been done this way before, well then maybe I'm not as stupid as I think I am. How are we doing? Half hour. We'll have time to get this set up. Alright, so look. Rather than putting this down, and rather than putting this belt down, this is going to be our coal belt, right? So we know the coal's going to come in here, and it's going to come from one to the other. And then we know that that one has to hand from that one to that one. Shit, it's not going to work. It's not going to work right now. What I was hoping is I could be able to run this down there and do an underground, but I can't. I need one more space for each of these. But again, space is not a premium here, right? So what if we gave ourselves one space between each of these? Now there may be a better way to organize that, I don't know. But what if we gave ourselves one space between each of these? And we could probably belt lace somehow and make this better. But again, it's space. And I could go on the interwebs and I could Google, or I could go to Factorio Blueprints and find a smelting setup. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to come up with my own funky, weird, stupid stuff. This time around. I mean, there are certain things that I will probably end up looking up simply because I can't come up with a way, or there's got to be a better way or something. But I want to give it a shot on my own first. And the reality is, this is Factorio 2.0 with the space, Space Age mod. I wanted to say Space Agenda for some reason, but with the Space Age mod. So everything's new, everything's different, everything's new recipes. Well, not everything, but you know, there's a lot of stuff that is. So why not try new? Who knows? Maybe one of the things that I come up with won't be, you know, the most stupid thing out there, and somebody else sees it and goes, "Wow, that's cool." I don't know. Not that that's like my goal in life, but it'd be neat. And yeah, this takes a little extra space, but again, we're not playing space exploration where the planets have a limited size. This is Factorio, where it's procedurally generated. At least as far as I know. I mean, yes, there is a limit in Factorio with regards to planet size, but it is ridiculously huge. That was so nice when they came up with that, where it automatically does the undergrounds for you. That was a game changer. All right, so look, if we say that that's iron and that's iron, and this is coal, and I'm rubber and you're glue, right? Then coal goes down there, and passes through like that. And then iron does that. And we did that for 24 furnaces length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 24. Right? It's definitely longer than that one, but it's not that much longer. And it should provide a similar throughput. It's not going to provide as fast because steel takes longer to process than iron does, but there we go, right? And then if we blueprinted that, we could line that up multiple times. Got to get rid of these. There it is. And then we could blueprint that, right? There it is. So now we can pick all this up. Because we're going to move it over next to the other ones. Alright, efficiency module, efficiency module, efficiency module, tool belt, battery, bulk inserter, physical projectile damage. Okay. Since we're concentrating on this, I'm not worried about which sciences we snag up. That's more of a don't want to waste the time being idle. We might as well do something. It's it's ABCs. Always be crafting. And then we'll use the deconstructor to get rid of the blueprints. Somebody said something about with these blueprints being the blue like they are, it makes it hard to tell that these are yellow versus red versus blue inserters. And I didn't give it much thought at the time, but looking at it now, yeah, I can definitely see how that would be a problem. I'm just curious how they show up on an iron patch. That's the one I haven't looked at yet. See, and it doesn't really matter what we're picking because by the time we get around to finishing doing what we're doing, we'll have far exceeded. It's not that one. It's that one. So if we do, it's not going to line. Well, we can fix that. We can fix that. Delete. This is going to bother me. There we go. That would have bothered me. Crazy, I know, but it would have. Great blueprint. Okay. So that would give us 2 lines of steel, 4 lines of copper, 4 lines of iron, 2 lines of steel. Right? I like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of copper, and this is our first row of iron. We're going to leave the blueprints down. We're going to plan for it. Doesn't mean we have to build it right away. But we're going to plan for it. So that we've got the space lined out. That. I wish I could hold down the button and drag down across the blueprint, and it would only put it where it's at if there was a blueprint laid down. In other words, while I'm out just dragging it across the world, I don't mind that it spaces it automatically. But if I'm on top of a blueprint, I wish it would place it when I went over a spot on the blueprint. Like right here. I wish I could go through here like this and have it place just the inserters that are the right ones. But it won't. It overrides whatever's there on the blueprint. But if I could just drag down the blueprint and fill in just the ones that we're after, that would be nice, rather than this flip back and forth thing. But that's what bots are for. And we are working in that direction. Now the thing is, this is designed for steel furnaces which are operated with coal. They're only 2 blocks wide. Frustratingly enough, or not frustratingly enough, it's by design, I'm sure, electric furnaces are 3 blocks wide. So while I can come in here and replace stone furnaces and steel furnaces interchangeably in a design, I can't do that with electric furnaces because they take up a different size space. Whole different blueprint. But I'm hoping that because steel furnaces don't require coal, that even though I have to rip out the smelting operation itself, that I don't have to rip out all of the stuff after that. Do I not? Okay, there's 2. Because we want to put in there. Alright, so those 2 are done. We're going to run what we can for the steel. We're going to need some more furnaces to do it. But we'll go ahead and run what we can for the steel. And that is going to be an hour. Or close to an hour. Close enough to an hour that we'll call it a done video. And then the next video we will do fluid. We'll do our oil handling. And we'll get our oil hooked up. And then that will essentially finish us up for the bus. Or for the start of our bus. There are people that use a bus. There are people that don't use a bus. I do a little of both. I use a main bus, but then I end up spaghettiing a whole lot of other stuff. Off of the bus. I really like the convenience of having one central line to be able to get all my junk from. Right? Okay. Reds. So I've been playing around with what time I'm going to have these videos published, because I'm trying to get ahead by at least a few days, so that on days where like I have my game night, I don't have to necessarily rush to get a video out. There'll be a video already queued, and then I can do a couple on a different day. But in the past, when I was doing all my other series stuff, I just basically published the video whenever I finished it. I don't do a lot of editing and stuff. This is all whatever comes out of the OBS is generally what ends up on the account. And I'm still doing that, but now I'm trying to set myself a publishing schedule. And crap, let's see, Z. There we go. Right? That fixed it. So what I was going to say before I screwed that up was that I think I've decided on dropping these videos at 5 o'clock. I thought about 10 in the morning, and I did one at 10 in the morning, but like it didn't get any views until the evening. And then I did one at 1 o'clock, and again it really didn't get any views until the evening. So I thought maybe what I will do is just start them start having them drop at 5. I'm out of undergrounds. Am I out of undergrounds? I am out of undergrounds. Alright, well, that's fine. Oh, and the other thing that I didn't do, I didn't see if we have a way to hook all of this stuff up electrically. So we can do there, and we can do there, and we can do there. Yep. All right, good. So we do have a way of doing it. I did not put that in the blueprint. So once we fill out the rest of this, I'll remake that blueprint and restamp it. But there we go, guys. I'm just gonna go down here and grab the rest of the stuff to fill that in. But I'm gonna let you guys go. I guess I'm gonna grab up these miners on the way. More of them that are played out. And I'm going to go get that stuff and finish that design. And then in the next video, we will do fluid processing, because we need plastic, and that's going to have to go on the bus as well. So, all right, you guys have a good night, good day, good morning, good whatever, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.